Jail. Andy Anderson, Heron 2 Flight Deck, 8.70, egg-shaped, new skateboard. So psyched about this. I got the new one. So, and I'm just going to talk about it. And put the grip tape on it without cutting myself. I forgot I usually use Windex to spray off the top, but I'm not even going to do it now because I don't have it, so you guys don't get to see that. So anyway, this is the new Heron 2 twin-tipped Andy Anderson Flight Deck. And you can see it's like a mirror reflection of itself. It's got that sweet graphic here, both sides. I think it's Anderson or something like that. Andy Anderson, I mean. But anyway, he's an awesome skater. So I'm going to cut this open. And this is my favorite part when I get a new skateboard, because this thing costs me like $100-something. So, but you know, shout out to Peralta for making these new skate decks, because I was getting a little bit sick of skating the other deck because it was just a little nose is too little too big. I'll wipe this off a little bit. I feel like there's always like dust, so I'm gonna use my shirt instead of the Windex. And yeah, let's talk about the deck. So yeah, it's twin-tipped. It's got like this oval shape all the way around the skateboard. So there's no straight lines, which means there's no impact points. And if you guys want to get one of these, there'll be a link below on Amazon on you can get yourself a new Andy Anderson twin-tip Flight Deck Heron 2. Check that out. And also, it'll have all the other links for my bones, wheels, bearings, mini logo trucks, and of course, independent risers. These things are a little haggard, but time for a sip of coffee. Let's get rolling. All right, back to the board. So the reason Andy wanted to switch to a different shape from his old deck, which was right here, this is the maple one I was just skating. So the nose is weird, tail's different, right? So he did Varial Heel Mellon. I don't know if it was nollie or not. I thought it was, but it was Varial Heel Mellon. Did it in the Olympics and landed backwards, skating on his board. So he landed skating like with the nose as a tail and the tail as a nose. And so like it was kind of freaking weird when that happens. But this deck is sweet because it's got this graphic. But actually, it wasn't even that deck. It was this deck. The flight version of it. It's just here. I had this other version. But anyway, he landed like this. And then he was backwards. So he didn't want that to happen again. So I think he wants to focus more on street. And I grew up skating street. So I'm pumped about this because I want to do nollie tray flips on this. So I'm like kind of the similar thing to happen to me. I was skating this board. Well, not this one. This board the other day. And I was actually skating with one of the amateurs from the Powell team, Donnie. Yeah, and he was there. And I did like a sweep, pop, shove it. Went down the banks, and I was skating the nose as the tail. Went for a normal 50 on this flat circle rail. Caught up feeble, flew over the rail, landed on to my arm, ripped open this, sprained my neck. Ow, that kind of hurt. And yeah, and then I just left. So I didn't get to skate with the guys from the Powell team anymore, the dude that was there. But anyway, that happened. So that's why I think he made the new deck, is to make it twin-tipped, and it's like a football shape. All right, let's see what else is good about it. So the bounce point in here, the center, is like perfectly, you know, balanced. So on tray flips, it's gonna be sweet. So I'm just gonna keep talking about the deck as I do this, because I gotta get gripped in this eventually. So when I grip a board, I always, you know, I got this grip, and the board's twin tip, so I don't even know what the tail is. So that's crazy right there. So I usually just peel it all off. So I don't know why. Oh, look at that. That thing just came right out. So it's a tactic grip tape, so Thanks, Tactics. But Amazon has a board too. They just didn't have it right away when I got it. So you gotta like look over top of the board, and a lot of times you just don't want to like just throw it on there. You want to like look over top and like line up the tail and the nose. So they're like symmetrical, so I don't even know what you call the nose or the tail. And I always kind of like feel the sides, just so I'm covering the sides. And this grip's like barely gonna fit this. If you look on the bottom of it, you can see that the grip is on the edges. There, and the nose here. It's all covered. So I think I'm good to go. It's getting a little close there, but... And actually, I might have to do this again, because it's not covering right here. So you peel it back up. Thanks, Tactics. And you just kind of look over top, and you get into the grip process here. And Andy says, don't buy graphic grip with this board, because you don't want the nose and the tail getting... You don't want the nose... You don't want to know what the nose and tail are, because it's symmetrical. So you kind of want to just skate it like... Oh, I'm skating the nose. Oh, no, I'm skating the tail. So you don't really even know what you're skating. I can't get this right. I'm going to sit down. Focus. Just a little silence here. I just got to make this right, because I'm psyched to skate this. Honestly, I'm psyched to make this video, and I like making live videos. Don't get me wrong, but I'm more psyched to skate this deck. And we're going to do a follow-up video and review of skating this thing. So I think you're covered. This is barely covering here. I'm going to do this tiny little thing. Yeah. Don't let me grip your board. Just kidding. I grew up gripping skateboards. My parents had a skate shop. And this time of year would get nuts, because it's like getting towards Christmas time. And I was like in middle school working there. And I'd be like, I'd have to grip like 100 boards in like 3 weeks. But we were making money, which is good. We should have just kept it going. But we didn't. I think we're good here. I don't know why I can't get this right. I think I'm going to have to peel this off a little bit too. Oh, I'm not messing with this after this. So you only can peel it off a few times, but it was a little bubble right here. So, you know, I'm just going with this. And it looks like it's covering all the edges. It's bubbling there. This grip's weird. I've never used tactic grip, so I usually use Jessup, or I've been using the Powell grip because I've been using the design grip. As you can see on here, I had this cool little grip like last time. Everybody's like, oh, that's how I meant to do from the Powell team, because he was like, dude, is that an Andy board? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, everybody says that because I got the grip. You can see it. And you can just see it's a board that stands out. And then like, I was like, yeah. And he's like, dude, Andy's my boy. And I was like, what? And I was like, dude, no way, what up? And then I saw his part after that, and he did like crazy tricks. He did a nollie out of a nose manual up this bank. And he also did tray flip manual, back one out on the manual pad up. And yeah, so the Powell team, you guys should come to the Quakertown Skate Park Freefall Energy Center. Yeah, you guys should come there. So yeah, we got back to the board. And you always want to make sure you're covering the tail and the other tail. Or the nose and the other nose. And I barely cover the ends here. This isn't a good grip tape selection. But you know what? And I already got some marks up here. I don't even know what I did here. And yeah. So anyway, the wheelbase is slightly longer. So that's another aspect of the board. And the tail and the nose are supposed to have quicker pop, because they're symmetrical. And it's supposed to have quicker pop. Another crazy thing that Andy said about it was, you should get new trucks. It's new mini logo trucks, so there'll be a link for these too. These are 8.75. Check them out. But anyway, he said that you should get new trucks, because like you don't want to usually skate a back truck and a front truck. Like this is my front truck, because I got my back truck over here, so I know Then I'm going to put this on the back, but it doesn't really have a back. So that's why I suggest to get new trucks, because one truck usually looser or tighter than the other. So if you get new trucks, they're like the same tightness, I would assume. So anyway, back to this. It looks like we're going to get all the air bubbles out of this. And yeah. And I also have these Bones wheels. I got them from Europe because I couldn't find any extra wides in Pennsylvania or anywhere in the United States. So I had to like order these during the crazy time we were in. And they took like a year to get here. No, more like a couple of months. And I got them finally. Coffee break. Go Eagles. Yeah, and that Eagles are going to be playing on Thursday night. So make sure you guys have Amazon. Because you only can watch on Amazon, which is kind of ridiculous. So I just use my sisters. What are we doing here? All right, next part of gripping the board. I'm getting distracted. You want to go real fast on the sides? Oh, there's an air bubble right there. Make sure you don't get air bubbles like that. But you want to kind of just make like a line by doing this real fast. And it makes an annoying sound, but at the same time, it's a nice sound. Oh yeah, and then I probably messed up the grip because I got this symbol here, so it's going to mess with my trying to figure out to have the two tails and the two noses. Yeah, I usually like skating the tail or nose because I just can't afford new trucks. I would have got new trucks, so I didn't even know that until I just watched a new video on it, so maybe you should have told us that sooner, Andy. Just kidding. Anyway, you want to just do it quick, and you don't want to scratch the grip. If you hold it at a good bias, you get that nice line all the way around. And all right, so yeah, back into the deck. So yeah, I skated Andy's last two decks in competitions, and it worked out great because I wasn't doing too many pop shove-its or nollie flips, or I'd just skate in the end of the back of the board. So you don't want to cut yourself here too, but I'm really excited to try this board in a competition. But I switched to the maple deck because it wasn't a flight deck, and I actually really like that more than the flight deck. Well, I don't know why this grip is not sticking. All right, so you start a sloppy cut like that, like I just did there, and like, yo, get a flash at the bottom of the board. Oh, I just stabbed myself. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so you get back and you want to like make sure you don't cut yourself. And I learned using a knife watching Andy do his videos, so it's probably not the best. You probably should use a sharper razor blade, but I'm using a knife because it gets me more in tune with my board. I like the grip on it. When you hold a razor blade, it kind of hurts. So you kind of can hold the grip as you like peel it off so it's not sticking to the side. And you just do a nice cut. And this cut is not nice. There it is. Reminds me back being at the shop, Job's Board Shack, just cutting up grip tape. Yeah, a lot of people that worked at a skate shop, they know. Man, if you grip a lot of decks around Christmas time, it gets a little old. But yeah, you got to get a nice cut around the corners, and I really like these symmetrical tails or noses because they're flat around the end, like a football kind of, almost like, I mean, it's curved all the way around. And it looks flat, but it's a curve, but it's different than a normal board, I'm trying to say. You can look at the curvature of it. I guess you would call it. Look at that. Wow, exciting. So yeah, I am going to take this, and I'm just going to lop it off. Man, this knife is not very sharp. And I'm going to fold that in half, and I'm going to rip this and cut it. Save that for later. But yeah, so I did the Philly Am comp with the maple deck, and I did the 13th annual comp at the Freefall Energy Center, and did that. Just checking my speakers on. Yep, we're on here. You gotta always make sure you don't have technical difficulties as you're doing a live stream. But yeah, and anyway, I did the first comp, didn't do the best. That was last year, and then a year later I got 7th place. The Philly Am, I didn't make the finals. But yeah, it was a fun board to compete with. I finally learned how to do like circle down rails. And I learned how to do the A-frame rails. that all these pro skaters are skating. All these cool pros. I'm just a skateboard instructor. So yeah, that's my passion. I'm actually a skateboard instructor. I have my own business. It's called Skate Tutors, guys. Make sure you smash like if you enjoy this channel. And I actually do skateboard tutorials, and I teach people how to skateboard all the time. And that's my passion. And I also do snowboard lessons too in the wintertime, but I'm a snowboarder too, but I'm just an average skateboard instructor. YouTuber, I guess now. Because I got to advertise for my business. If you guys want skate lessons, just email me or DM me at Skate Tutors on my Instagram. Check out that Instagram. It's just called Skate Tutors. I don't know how I got that one. I beat you guys to it. No, I created that name. So yeah, my business is I just teach kids and older adults and young or people in their 20s to however, as long as you can fall on a skateboard and learn how to bail. I can teach you how to skateboard because that's one of the biggest parts of skateboarding. And now that the Olympics are coming up, not next summer or this summer, next summer after that. So all you pros better get ready for that because I'm gonna just sit here and eat popcorn and watch it. Just kidding. Well, that's the coolest thing about being a skateboard instructor is I don't have the pressure when I compete to win. Just show up and try to inspire the next generation to compete. And you don't have to be pro to compete. That's the coolest thing I like about the whole new movement with skateboarding. Look, I just cut a piece of the skateboard deck off right there. Look at that. Way to go, Clay. Messing up Annie's deck. And just slightly cut that off, and you just finish it. And then you take your little piece here at the end. Yeah, Olympics. And you just sand it down. Right? I gotta get back to this. And you sand it down nice and smooth. Oh yeah, stay to the end. I'm gonna show you this little trick on how to change my bearing. Because I was skating one red when I have big ball bearings. Yeah, link below for these blue bearings if you want to check them out. But like, I was skating them, and one of them broke before the competition, and I switched it to a regular red China phone, and I didn't even realize I was skating a red one. And I can show you back truck, other truck. Oh yeah, this, you can take it and kind of push down, make sure the grip's on there. Yeah, my other truck. That one's red. See how it's red? And that one's blue? I gotta switch that out so I show you that little trick tick, skate bearing tip. So look, yeah, let's look at the bottom again. What? So mirror reflection of itself. Andy likes moons, and I just realized there's the moon right in the background right here. So sick. I like moons too. I was skating under a full moon the other day. I love this time of year because it's my birthday and stuff, October 2nd. But anyway, yeah, so sick. It's like a mirror reflection of itself. Bam. I love that art, man. So cool. I love this guy that designed this. Shout out to him. Yeah, and look at this. Epic. Epic, epic. Even though I have the back thing. But yeah, you want to get all the nasty little pieces of grip off the side. So you want to just like sand it down. And you want to look to make sure you just get it. Like there's a little piece right here. If you can see that. And you take this and you just sand it over top. It makes it go away. All right. I need to get going here because this video is going to take 100 years. We don't have 100 years. This is not the new Lord of the Rings on Amazon where they're just flashing like hundreds of years ahead of time and past. I need to poke holes in this. And I need something to poke holes in. Oh crap. Over here. Over here. Over here. I gotta make sure you guys don't click on something else. I'm just kidding. Toolkit I bought from my friends from work. This is his dad's. Best toolkit I've ever bought. So if you get used tools, I don't want to get cut, so I'm gonna put this away. Yeah, knife worked great. You wanted something that, like screwdriver versus sander, you could poke holes at the bottom. Like for some reason, there's always like the paint. When they print these boards, there's like paint. So you have to like poke that. And I do like this. Screw my hand back and forth, left and right, and I hold it on this side. Don't let it stab you, but just kind of don't let the grip come up. And then you're not worried about, you know, gripping, pulling up. Pull the grip's pulling up. So yeah, we're just kind of doing this. And you guys just check out the graphic. Try to think something about you like. Comment below something you like about this graphic. I'll comment right now. My favorite part's the moon. And I like these symbols too. The blue heron symbols are really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. And he's got the blue heron symbol as his animal. Good for him. Oh yeah, so Andy Anderson. That dude's been skating street. You know, you're awesome, dude. I don't know how you skate street and bowls. And I feel like your street skating has gotten crazy. So back to the board. So he's like trying to do tray flips with this thing. And I want to do nollie tray flips and tray flips with this thing. And Andy's just like, flip tricks are looking great. For some reason, he was saying in his one video that he wasn't taking flip tricks serious. And it was crazy because I was skating his old deck. And I was doing tons of flip tricks on this. I did a nollie tray flip on it. Not very good. But yeah, it's like, why would you take flip tricks serious, man? I love flip tricks. I mean, you're good at everything else, but hey, man. And like he said, you do flip tricks on a big board, you switch to a smaller board, maybe you're better at it. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's all about that new board stuff. And like, just kind of learn how to make a new board. Learn how to like, kind of like get creative with your skateboard. That's really like why I like Andy Anderson. He's like in his own world. Or he has like different worlds that he lives in. Watch his videos. NKA videos. Awesome. Yeah, really enjoy them. And yeah, so I guess street skating's getting really popular. Because like we had an event, 13th annual event. And street skating was not the main event. It was bowl skating because that was in the Olympics in that. And then Andy was, you know, shredding this board out in those bowl Olympics. And then all of a sudden street got popular again, I feel like. Because they switched to the 13th. It was a 12th annual event, and this year was the 13th. And they switched it from bowl as the main event to street. They got rid of the bowl event. But so street is taking over again. And I guess all them California skaters saw us East Coast skaters skating street, and they were like, oh, we need to skate street again, because all these guys on the East Coast are getting really good at street. Just kidding. I really like East Coast skating. I mean, I think that dude Donnie, he's from East Coast, I think. But yeah, I mean, like, it's cool because, like, so many good skaters in California. And don't get me wrong, I love California. And I can't wait to go visit there again. But I'm from the East Coast, so I gotta represent, yo. We live in this cold area. And people don't think we got skateboard, and then we got this new $1 million park that I started working at. And it's like, oh, if you have like the park to get better at, it's like you get pretty good at skateboarding if you have your access to it. So that's like my whole thing is like I want to teach the next generation of kids. They have these brand new perfect cement parks like the Free Fall Energy Center in Quakertown that you can get incredibly good at skateboarding. I mean, yeah, in California the parks are gnarly. So that's why I believe that East Coast skateboarding is coming up. So look out, you California dogs. We're coming. I was skating, dude. I'm 33, so I just love skating. So I got this board to skate. It's to skate it. Now I just got to remember what truck was what. So yeah, and then back to what I got for the risers. I got independent risers here, and I got my hardware, which is Shorty's hardware, which is right here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my front truck here. I believe this is my front truck. And put it, there's no front, so it doesn't really matter. So what am I thinking? But I have this little symbol here, so maybe that's going to be my back. I have really no idea. I'm just going to go with the flow here. So I took off the front truck first. So this is the front truck, I believe. Oh, I can't tell. Well, does that look like I do no slides, or does it look like I do no slides here? I'm gonna go with this is my front truck. Anyway, Shorty's hardware. So I basically turned the board sideways. I don't know Maybe you guys can look at the grip, but it's not that good. And I put in the 4 shorty pieces. And I didn't think my 8.75 trucks would fit on this board, but I guess it does. We'll find out right here. This is the ultimate test, as they would say. And now I gotta find my riser pad. And you want, for the risers, you want the flat side down first, and the independent, like bumpy side up, facing the bottom of the truck. And I believe I put it like this, just like that. I take my mini logo truck and I put it right on top like that. Take these shorty bolts, hold the other side with my hand, and then slightly twist them on, holding the screw with my fingertip, so I can just get them nuts on the board. Make sure the kingpin's facing in. Do the awesome Powell graphic. And this video is going longer than I thought. So yeah, skating, new skate parks on the East Coast, anywhere, is amazing. They're making them all over the country. Skateboarding is gonna get so popular from this year to next year, especially with the Olympics coming up in France. Because skateboarding is going to be done, the event's going to be done on a beach in France. So that's one of the coolest things ever, because we fought on one of the beaches for our freedom. Now, I don't know if it's going to be on like that same beach, but hey, that's so cool. So anyway, you need electric tools. So I'm just going to get this one on. And that's on, cool. And then I got my other one over here. And you know what, I'm barely going to leave it on. And I take my other hardware here, and I'm not missing anything, thank goodness. And I slightly get it on, and I put them in. Just kind of being patient, thinking about nollie tray flips. So yeah, I like to do nollie tray flips. I'm gonna make a tutorial on how to do it eventually. I kind of have to relearn them, but I think I'll be able to do it with this board. So this board's like a football shaped. It's got the blunt end tail, it stabilizes it, and the pop, it's predictable because it's got the 2 twin tips. So everything you do regular, you can do nollie. It's going to be the same kind of dimensions. Because this is kind of the hard part. Sometimes you gotta, if I can show you, you gotta like line up and hold up the hardware. Oh crap! I forgot the riser pad. You guys love that. Flat side down, which is that side, and that's the rough side. So that side goes up, rough side faces the truck. So this is how you put a riser on. You hold the hardware at the bottom of your hand, you take the riser, you place it on top. And mini logo trucks are sweet. If you want these trucks, there'll be a link below. But they actually are meant for risers. They have all the extra holes. They got 6 holes. So if you have them geared risers, I think you'll find enough holes for this to get them on. Place it over top, as I'm still holding it with the bottom of my hand. And then this is where you can use your fingertips to kind of hold that screw in place and get that nut gently on the top of the skateboard. I'm getting so psyched now. I feel like when I first start putting a skateboard together, I'm kind of like annoyed, especially when I have to make a video. But I love you guys, and I love this video. Thanks for subscribing and comment. But it's just like, it's like I said, I used to put like hundreds of skateboards together at my parents' skateboarding shop around this time of year, so it kind of gets old. But when it's for myself, I can't complain because it's like treating myself. But I'm trying to give you guys as much info about this board and Andy's opinion on it as I can. And I'm just trying to think of anything else that he talks about. Because the whole board is egg-shaped, so like there's no impact points, I guess. There's less impact points, and I guess his old board, one of these guys was known to chipping at certain points because of the shape, and it would chip, especially the Flight Deck. Because I remember the Flight Deck, it was kind of like chipping. The one I got was chipping, but it lasted a while. I can't really complain. So this is like my 3rd Flight Deck, so this will be interesting. So anyway, I got that tight on. Take the power drills, powered tools, I mean, drills. Tools. That's what's great about YouTube Live. You guys can hear all my mistakes. You get that, baby. Make sure it's not too powered up. Yeah, see that? You can tell if I just grab it. I'll do that noise. you know it's not too powered up, because you don't want to rip your hardware up and strip your end of your screws. And I got my handy dandy thing from my toolkit. See? And that's, you know, it's not gonna strip it because it stops. You know, you should go to the corners. I've had this hardware for a while. You know, I always, at my parents' shop, I always would buy Shorty's hardware too. Man, that stuff's classic. We had our shop early 2000s. It's 2022. 20 years ago I had a skate shop. Shorty's. Chad Muska. You must be doing good, man. Shout out to Chad Muska. Anybody like Chad Muska? Shout out. Tell me. I love that dude. This guy is an iconic street skater. He still skates. And I'm using his hardware. I don't know if it's his hardware, but he's sponsored by Shorty's. I know that. And he made it iconic. And it's still rolling everything. Oh, see, that's what happens when you strip your screw. Don't let that happen. Power tools are good for this. The tightening part, it's funny, like, Andy did a video about on how to put on rails, and you want to use like a hand screwdriver to get it right. I mean, you can use power tools, but you got to make sure you're on the right power and you don't want to over tighten it. I like using a hand screwdriver for this. Check out, there'll be a video about how I did this below. I'll put it in the description. But yeah, and then people are making fun of me because they're like, oh, get a power tool. And my answer to that is you guys aren't in tune with your skateboard enough. Because I like to take my time. I like to make sure I don't strip my bolts. I like to make sure. So after I do that, you know, now I'm getting annoyed because it's just taking me forever to do this. And I still gotta show you guys the bearing thing. So basically, I use a screwdriver to do the last tightening. And I just hold it and I just crank that. This is another extra tip, power tip. And I just crank it, because then I'm not gonna strip it, dude. I'm just cranking at that last extra tightness. I mean, you can use a power tool in this thing, don't get me wrong. I put a lot of skateboards together, believe me. Parents had a skateboard shop. But if it's my board, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna tighten up the bolts. I'm gonna do my live stream for an hour. Yeah, and there'll be other videos of like live streams that I did of the other two boards I put together. I'll put the links for those videos. Because this is like I saw a video of Andy doing a similar YouTube video about his board. I'll show you the cool graphics so you can just check out the graphic here. So I just love doing videos like this. So yeah, nollie tray flips. When you do a nollie tray flip, it's all about like whipping it with your front foot and getting it in that pocket. Because you don't have to pop it or flick it as much as a regular tray flip, I feel like. And I'm going to do a tray flip tutorial too. I'm telling you guys, I'll give you a sneak preview. It's going to be called Skate Tutors Masters. And I'm going to, after I do a ton of videos on beginner tricks, like how to manual, how to tic-tac, how to do the crab walk, monster walk, I'm going to do a ton of videos. I'm going to do Skate Tutors Masters. I'm working on it. I'm already filming for it, where I just do like all the, you know, I do more technical tricks and I do skate comps, so I'm just talking about stuff like that. And I'm gonna just try to give you tips, guys. And if you ever want to do compete, you know, you learn to master the fundamentals, and then you move to the technical stuff. So a lot of times when you tighten like the hardware, you can see these are pretty tight and they're in, but sometimes it sticks up. And you just got to tighten it a little bit more. And that's why I like to use a screwdriver, because it gets that last little bit tightened down. You know, I'll probably even bring up this because I'm doing a next video, so you guys stay tuned for the next video. I'm not ending this live stream, but there's going to be another video about me trying this skateboard out, and I'm going to try to just film it from the very start. It might be a live stream, so I'm probably going to put that out tomorrow. I'm going to try to learn tray flips, kick flips, and heel flips. And then, I don't know if I'll be able to learn a nollie flip. And then I'll end with trying the nollie flip. We've got that on psyched. Bam. Oh, yeah. And then if you guys want to get bones and put them on here, like these rib bones, like here, like on this deck, I'll put a link for them too. And they're actually called Powell Peralta rib bones, and they work great. Those are the ones I used on that. And I'm not skating rails because I do down rails, and I don't know how Andy does rails with rails because I need to learn that better. But I do want to skate these. I'm going to do another tutorial about this at some point, but these are sweet. Check that out. Let's get to this bearing thing. So I got a skate tool here. I'll do this as fast as I can do it because we got to end this. So yeah, I got this. The trick is you get the wheel off. You unscrew it with your skate tool. Unit tools are really good for this. But I got a China bone in here. I want to have all the same bearings. Even though it's kind of nice. And I feel like it works great. And I could just leave it and it could be fine. But this is what you do. You take the truck, you probably put it down on the ground, and you put the wheel in the tip of the truck. Place like this. You just put the one end in there like that. Like that. Place it in there. And then you just turn it on an angle. Like pull up on an angle. With just the axle sticking into the end of the bearing. Like the tip of the axle. Pop that out. Pops that bearing right out. Do that again. Bam, pop that bearing out. So I got my bearingless wheel now. And then I got my other wheel here with the big ball bearings. I'll just do the same thing for my other skateboards. I'll take these off too because I'm going to transfer these to the other one. Take these off. Just like that. Oh, this one's stuck. Come on. Sometimes go back and forth. I would just try to stay on this angle actually. But the key is, oh, this is great. Now it's stuck. Oh, you don't want to bend your axle either doing this. This is the hardest one ever. But the key is to get it into the end of the axle, the tip of it, just so you get the nice leverage, physics, to get that to pop out. But anyway, we're going to replace it now. And these are the Spitfire wheels that I used, the Chronicles. They were sick too. Great, try them. You know, I'll put a link for them too below. Why not? Throw it in there. So then to put it back on, you know what? I'm just going to have to turn this table like this. Put it back on. You place the color of the bearing down. Come above it, get centered, and you push straight down. Just like that. Straight down. And sometimes you have to half turn and push again. Bones usually go right in. Got that in. Get the other side, color down, put it on top, straight over top, push straight down, locks right in. Bam, flip it back over, put the little thingy on, washer, put this guy on, and then you just tighten it. Hope I got it right. Sometimes the wheel bolt does not go on right, but it looks like this one's going on right. Because I've tightened these and it's just gone on sideways, and that's terrible because then you just mess up the whole rivets or whatever you call them, threads. And then when you tighten your wheel, you want it a little loose. You want to hear it jiggling a tiny bit. Because you want that, you don't want it to have too much friction. Look. Works great. Just need an extra little push. Yo, make sure you guys smash like if you enjoyed this video about my new Andy Anderson skateboard. Ooh, first scratch. Damn. Anyway. And make sure you guys subscribe. I'm going to go put this board to the test, try some tray flips with it. And I don't know if I've talked about everything I want to talk about. And check out this next video of me skating this deck up here. It's going to be a live stream. I got to go film it right now. So make sure you guys enjoy that too. Check out the board as I close out the video. Think about what you would do with yours. I am ready. Awesome board.